Hi, good morning. My name is Justin Danhof, General Counsel with the National Center for Public Policy Research. Mr. Zuckerberg, you mentioned you have 20,000 or so employees working on content. You stated before Congress that you don't know the politics of those individuals and that politics plays no role in hiring decisions here at Facebook. However, you also said that you were well aware that Silicon Valley is primarily populated by liberals. You then suggested that you were aware of employee political bias and try to make sure it does not affect their work. How do you know their political bias if you don't know their politics? You also said that politics play no role in what content these individuals decide to remove. I just don't see how all those things can be true at the same time. In 2016, former employees told Gizmodo how the company was diminishing conservative voices on your platform. Before Congress, it was conservatives such as Ted Cruz who continued to complain about Facebook silencing their voices. And now a group of more than a dozen prominent conservative organizations have formed a coalition to combat what they see as Facebook's censorship of their voices. Silicon Valley elites often preen about commitments to diversity and inclusion, but I don't think many of you know what that means. Diversity isn't what someone looks like. It's the sum of what they think, feel, and believe. Perhaps you should consider actually talking with your employees and potential hires about their politics, because when it comes to Silicon Valley, the region seems to suffer from a lack of viewpoint diversity. Hiring a few conservatives may help balance out the office and avoid potential groupthink problems. Will you commit to increasing viewpoint diversity amongst the ranks of Facebook, and what tangible steps can you take to commit to doing that?
Sure. So it's really important to me and to the company that Facebook and our systems are platforms for all different ideas. And I know that there are a number of concerns about that kind of bias. Silicon Valley, I think, generally is a very left-leaning place, right? So without knowing or asking specific people at Facebook for their views, I think that that's a reasonable assumption, is that a lot of the people who work, at least in our Silicon Valley headquarters, are going to skew that way. But the people who are doing content review are all around the world. So I don't know that same leaning would exist. But regardless, we have very strict guidelines on how these policies need to be enforced. And if people aren't doing what the guidelines say, then they're not going to be able to continue doing that job. So we're very serious about that at the level of content review. Across the company, I do think that having different voices is incredibly important, and we have a number of people from all different political and ideological views on the board, on the management team, in all of the different roles. And I do think that is an important aspect of making sure that we represent all the people in our community well. So we care about this. We're committed to being a platform for all ideas. I understand the concern that people have, although I personally view from the work that we've done so far and what I've seen of the results, that I don't think the concerns are necessarily founded, although I understand why people might have them. And we're certainly committed to being a platform for all ideas.